In this video, I'll be providing you a high-level demo of the Celebros Management Studio. I'll show you how to manage your search configuration and your product merchandising behind the scenes here. When you first log in, you're presented with the dashboard. It loads in your top products that are on your site. So most popular products, what folks are searching for. You also see to the right here, we have any active campaigns that are currently going on. For this instance, this site, there's a bunch of different campaigns here. If I wanted to edit a campaign, I just simply click on the pencil icon and I can make changes to that campaign here. We'll cover campaigns in a little bit more detail in a few moments here. But again, just a quick snapshot of some of the campaign activity. You can also see some of your top queries on your site, all the top query search terms that are being made on the site, in addition to any fallbacks. So a fallback is basically if someone does a search and there's not an exact match for that query, you can have it fall back. Or if you don't have product that falls within that search term, if you want to recommend or present other products as a fallback, in the case that you have 0 items in that category or for that term, you can configure fallbacks as well, right? So you're seeing some visibility there. All of these things are managed within the navigation on the left-hand side here. One thing to mention, this is our new UI for Celebros. It has a more modern and dynamic experience here within the admin. You can see I can collapse this little sidebar here. And then I can drill into all these underlying categories, right? So if I want to click on queries, we'll see, again, all of our top queries. I can highlight that query, look at the details of that query. I can see how many actual clicks. So these, again, are the most popular queries on the site, the click-through rate, the frequency of these queries, and then ultimately I can search upon the queries here if I wanted to internally. And then I'm seeing the details to the right-hand side. So the way these interfaces work is pretty much you have your active panel here, and then on the right-hand side is a supplementary panel where you get more details. And so here within the query details, I'm seeing the actual query term, the categories that it falls within, basically all the details underneath that. And I can also link over to merchandising from here, which basically will deep link me into this section here where I can configure some of the merchandising settings around if someone were to search for this term, what products do I want to appear first? So manipulate the order of and presentation of our products. I can also determine for that search term, maybe I want to blacklist certain products and not have certain products show. Right, so the merchandising really gives you the overarching capability to override the relevancy, override machine learning capabilities that it has to present the most popular products. This allows you to really manipulate what products appear when someone searches for a particular term. So we'll take a look at that again in a moment here. Just to cover real quick, again, here's where you would configure any fallbacks. So take, for instance, for this term here, bridesmaid, we can configure a fallback there. It looks like they have one set up already. Right, and you could basically just, again, use the interface here to manage that. And then lastly, the merchandising queries as well. You can see for the different terms that are being searched upon here, some of the products that are being represented when someone does a search for that term. And again, a lot of this cross-contextual experience, so it also cross-link to the merchandising section when I start working on that. One of the most important things when you get an instance set up is we need to load in all the product data. So we need to have the full set of product data and attributes, all the different categories. You can see there's basically a whole hierarchy of information here around all the product data. And this is being pulled in from the commerce platform. So depending on whatever the platform is, we'll want to make sure that we're pulling in all that product data. Again, we have a lot of native plugins available for a lot of the popular commerce platforms out there. In addition to, of course, our Unbound Commerce platform, we have integrations and plugins for Magento, for Shopify, Hybris, BigCommerce, right? So there's all these different plugins, but we can also integrate with any commerce system that we can pull in product data, import that product data, and then you can start working through your refinements, setting up categories, right? For the different refinements as you're searching, the refinements are what appears on the left-hand side. So you can filter down based on the different refinements. So that's all managed within here. And then this actually shows you any of the product data that's imported. So all the raw data. And then, of course, you would configure your categories and refinements off of that. The merchandising, again, this is a neat feature for basically promoting products over others. So again, in this scenario here, you can look at for this particular query, if I wanted to move some of these products around and change the order, say if I want to move these green juice bears up top, I can just drag and drop them up top here, change the order out. You could see, these are really the promoted products. If I want to move an item from the organic products, again, simple drag and drop up into this area here to promote it. We can add additional products from here as well, right? Search for a particular product or SKU and add that to the products that would appear based on that search term being searched upon. There's also a list view of that as well. So you can either view the thumbnails, the product images, or the list view, and again, drag and drop and move these things around. There's also the ability to blacklist products from the search results. This here are the different campaigns that are running on the site. We saw a little snapshot of this on the dashboard. But you can see you can have different types of campaigns, like an HTML banner that appears on the site to promote certain products or promotions that are going on. You can also have an image banner. You can present alternative products. So in this case here for the search term of Halloween, you can take a look at the different alternate products here, right? So you can promote specific categories. In this case, we're just promoting all candy right now, but we can basically find the appropriate category that's relevant to this campaign. You can see you can set a start and end date, the status, whether it's active or not, and what the search term is. So if somebody searches on Halloween, we want to promote the candy, the all candy category. Similar to campaigns is cross-sell. So we do have cross-sell capabilities where you can basically search for a particular SKU and say in this case of this gummy bear here, if I wanted to add additional products to cross-sell, I can add products to this cross-sell here. So this is a feature that can be enabled on the site if you wanted to have at the product detail level the ability to cross-sell other products. So if you're looking at the product detail page, perhaps at the bottom you want to have related products or something like that. So this gives you that capability to have that be enabled on your commerce site and manage it through the Celebros product here. There's a whole bunch of advanced settings for all your attributes, your autocomplete settings, misspellings, etc. All these are available within here to manage, and it's basically when you get an instance set up, you're going through and configuring things, configuring your autocomplete, your cross-sell, getting it enabled on your site and running on the site here. There's also a nice log of activity that's available here. And lastly, there are plugins available. This one has the Shopify plugin enabled, but really depending on whatever the commerce provider is, again, Celebros is agnostic. It can be utilized in any commerce implementation. There are plugins out of the box, but for any others that aren't native, we can also handle through some integration there. After you've done all of your changes to your queries or your merchandising, you basically publish all your changes out, right? So all these things are basically in my session right now. Once I'm done completing all my changes to configurations or updating of the product catalog or merchandising settings, I would then want to go ahead and publish it out here. All right, so that's sort of just a high-level overview of the Celebros Management Studio. Again, there's a whole bunch of more features in here, but just want to give you a quick glimpse of things so you have an understanding of the capabilities of the platform. Again, it's a great natural language search. It interprets the long-tail keyword search and really makes sense of it and deciphers the language, presents the most relevant product, also leverages the click-through data that we capture and determine what folks are gravitating towards from a product perspective, what's most popular, and that influences the ranking of your search results as well. All right, so again, I hope you found this informative. If there's any questions, feel free to reach out. You can check out also some of the other videos that we have available on our YouTube channel. Thanks again.